Okay, to kick things off, I'm going to ask you all to please endure a little thought exercise with me. I want you to think for the next 2 years of your life that you don't have to work a single day. No more waking up early in the morning, fighting traffic, and dealing with obnoxious coworkers, especially the ones that love to let you do all the work that they don't want to do. And then to sweeten the pot a little bit, all of your financial needs are going to be taken care of. So your mortgage payment's going to be paid for you, all your utility bills will be paid for you, all of it. And then to add a little bit of icing to this cake that we're making, all of your laundry is going to be washed and dried and folded and delivered to you. And all of your food's going to be prepped, all your favorite foods, prepped for you, cooked for you, delivered on a nice plate, maybe a little mint on the side, if you like mint. By many accounts, I think we would all agree for the next 2 years, you're going to live a privileged life. There's just one caveat, one condition to this fun little thought experiment. And that is, also for the next 2 years, you're going to be forced into solitary confinement. No social connection whatsoever. An experience that many consider to be the worst form of torture. To give you further context, as many of you know, Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. And when he reflected on his prison life, he said something really, really profound. He said that he found solitary confinement to be the most forbidding aspect of prison life. Think about that for a minute. The man spent 27 years in prison. He was forced into a damp, dark concrete cell, nothing more than a straw mat to sleep on. He was physically and emotionally abused. He spent day after day doing hard labor in horrible temperatures. And after all of that, the worst part for him was being alone. Social connection is not a luxury. It's a fundamental human need, and it's a need, not a weakness. I say this because I think it's important for us to grapple with this information. Because, first, it's important to intellectually understand that we all need each other. And it's another thing to actually, truly believe it. And once we do that, once we believe it, then we're able to have a really serious discussion on what we need from each other. And just like with diet and exercise, for the most part, at least, we understand what is healthy and what's not healthy. So what is it that we really need from each other? What are we missing in our quote-unquote social diet? Well, I argue that what so many of us are missing is camaraderie. We are missing mutual trust, mutual friendship with a group of people that we spend a lot of time together with. And here is my proof. A Stanford researcher by the name of Keith Humphreys did an extensive review of Alcoholics Anonymous. His review covered the work of 145 scientists and the outcomes of 10,000 participants. And what he found was that the fellowship in AA was more effective at achieving sobriety than therapy was. Men and women sitting together, being completely open and honest, sharing all the pain, sharing childhood trauma, exposing all of the ugly sides of themselves with very little fear of judgment, then as a consequence, very little judgment of themselves. That's camaraderie. That's what I think so many of us are missing. I once saw a senior collegiate athlete break down in tears when asked what he was going to miss most about leaving his team. With tears streaming down his face, he said he was going to miss eating dinner together. He was going to miss that mutual trust, that mutual friendship with a group of guys he spent a lot of time together with. So the question is, now what? How can a disconnected, lonely nation begin to heal? We're no longer living in tribes where social connection is just a byproduct of survival. Well, fortunately, there are 4 key insights that come from neuroscientists, psychologists, and researchers that I think really are helpful here in this situation. The first, of course, is that we have to prioritize social connection. Or more specifically, we need more folks that are willing to risk personal rejection, send a personal invite, and coordinate. Over 10 years ago, I moved to a small town in Wyoming. And after a painful divorce, I lived a mostly solitary life. I worked hard, I was still productive, but on the inside, I was suffering severe, intense pain. If you saw me on the street and said, "Hey, Kevin, how you doing?" I'd say, "Good, just keeping busy, working for a living," that type of thing. But inside, it was completely different. A couple things that I noticed. First, I noticed it seemed like everybody else was really busy too. And everybody else seemed like they were doing fine. And so I started to think, I thought, first, maybe this is a weakness that I have, that I need people, that I need friendship. And then second, I thought, because I don't have these friends, maybe there's something fundamentally wrong with me. That was until I met someone that didn't believe that I'm fine, you're fine, everyone's fine lie. She was the person that my small community needed. Suddenly, we were hiking together, we'd go on vacations together, we'd do cookouts, and what was great is there was some conservatives in the group and some liberals, and we did not care. We were just enjoying life together. We talked about hard things. Sometimes we talked about trauma. And I noticed something really fascinating. Suddenly, it's like this huge weight had been lifted off me. And I was able to start thinking about what I wanted from my life. I had heard all these different great lectures, all these different things that I needed to start thinking about, but I couldn't actually truly think through it. That leads me to my second really great insight. That is that willpower is a limited resource. I love the way that the neuroscientist David Eagleman puts it. He says that willpower is like a tank of gas. It's something that we use up. So, if you think about a chore or a task like maybe walking or running, it can first take a willpower, but then if you invite a friend to join you, suddenly it can be something that you enjoy, something that you look forward to. And the third key insight is that we all follow unwritten social rules, and we avoid social taboos. Taboos like burping during a staff meeting, farting on a first date, or the best one, talking about sex with your grandparents. So to make sure that we avoid these social taboos, we're not breaking some unwritten social rule, we do need dedicated time and space for us to be completely open and honest with a small group, to share all the pain, share all the hurt. And you can call this whatever you want to call it. You want to call it a process group, you can call it a prayer group, you can call it a coffee group, it doesn't matter. The key here is that someone has to coordinate, and it needs to happen on a recurring basis. It can't just happen every once in a while. And the last insight, and this is, of course, the hardest one, something that we're talking about a lot today, is that we're not always healthy. We make mistakes, we say stupid stuff, we do stupid things, we hurt people. That's why I love the idea of a process group, because it allows us that time and that mental space to share when someone else has hurt us. So to wrap up, please know that we really are facing a loneliness epidemic. There are people all around us right now that are craving fulfilling relationships and living a lifetime without it. And together, we can prioritize camaraderie and begin to heal. Thank you.